welcome back to my channel. I'm usually on my game playing, but we got a little bit of a delay today because I've been trying to use my computer to stream this, but let's just give you guys a rundown on what's going on. Currently at this very moment, I'm not really on my main account as some of you've seen before, but this is my second account I'm using, but let's just get a quick rundown. There is content coming soon, but it's gonna be the story for this year's events for the Christmas. I already got that planned out. As some of you may see, I haven't done my dailies on here yet. So for the current season we have for this year, I've never done anything video related for a while for this game, but it's only been a month since I got back into this. So every one of you in the comment section, please bear with me. I'll get back into it soon, but let's get into what we know so far. As far as we've been concerned, throughout the live stream, we were aware that we were getting the Rising Dungeon for Elizabeth today, as well with the Daily Dungeon refresh and the Weapon XP for the Character Plus board. We got that covered. I'm pretty sure Miko and the others already covered this already, but I say I make sure to at least keep up to date myself on my own page. I'm not too really good at doing updates for banners and stuff. I'm still getting used to it. Also, don't miss out on the new events that we currently have. Hold on, is my... Yeah, my thing's a little laggy when using a phone. Don't miss out on the current events for the... these are just the reruns for the Christmas events we've had throughout the many years before. So I'm just saying, don't miss out your chance on these events. And there's also the guild support campaign. If you're in a guild and your guild leaders and sub leaders are active, if you guys are watching this, you guys are gonna want to actually keep up with your drop rate 6 going up for all your proficiencies if you're farming. It's gonna be pretty helpful. Take my word for it. I also have to do that for this one, but I'm alone in this little guild I made for myself, but hey, it works for me at least. Not the first time I've done a guild on my own. But since this isn't my main account, well, I can just say I don't have much account of gems on here, but as for the events, they have got quite the total up. I'll put it on a community post. But for every event here that you are seeing, don't miss out any of these, because these are all you're getting for your Arcana Gems. Plus, for beginners, we're getting 40 million XP for this. I'm pretty sure this is about the 7th anniversary for the game. So don't miss out on that. And do not miss out on a particular event. If you know you don't have frostbite resistance, this event right here. This event I'm tapping right here, do not miss this. This is your one chance to actually get the 4-star Charming Lady Awesome, which is a pretty decent frostbite resistance skill, if you actually have to deal with frostbite on most bosses. So try chances of not missing that. But as far as I can say, we are yet to see any of the other updates be implemented yet, which means they might be implemented at a later date. So for the meantime, while I am currently online, let me show exactly what you're gonna get for each event. And I don't have the stories on this account since I was farming on it for the current banners. Only one banner in particular. I was actually doing the 3-step on the Holy Campaign Grand Order. Well, it is our only chance to get MR Full Burst Yuki, which is a birthday skill, but the odd chances of getting it, they may say 8%, but to get the featured skill that you're after, to getting MR, it's really not gonna be as simple as most will probably think. But if you really are able to actually pull this, I say you can go for it or not if you're free to play like myself. I actually tried this and, well, it didn't work out for me, but it's for all you users out there if you're looking to try and nab a full burst if you're fortunate to. Because the reason why I would recommend probably going for MR full burst was mainly for this reason. we get at least 5,510% damage. It's an 11-hit single foe. Our own attack increases defense by 2 times, and we get even a bonus with equipping 2 or more of Asuna's skill records in the same set for a non-elemental damage. So basically, it's kind of like that Kirito burst we all got recently. But I wouldn't count on it too much. They're pretty much very similar. If you know how to use it, you can probably go for it. Don't let what I say stop you from doing something that you would want as the viewers for this game. I'm just saying, as much as they are free to play, the 4-star, here are the chances you have of actually getting a 4-star. As you all have seen here, getting a 4-star is at least 8% on this banner. And as I've done before, on each step of the banner, it's about 6,250 gems just for a single rotation. So basically, it's like a birthday banner, but this is just the grand order for it. Last time, it was a little bit more expensive last year, but this time it seems to be a little cheaper, which is a little better than last time. Some people in my guild have actually kept record of that. I'm not one to really keep records, so I'm pretty rusty. But as for anyone who's actually interested in pulling for these banners, I say you can go for it if you so please to. But I'm gonna have to show you all right here and now. Even if some of you already got into the game already as soon as the update dropped, I'm saying if you're going for it, this is what you're gonna have to focus on getting. Well, I didn't do all of them. I only did like one or 2 of these solos, so bear with me. Alright, here's the rundown. Every one of these you're getting at least 50 to 100 Akana gems. And the max start with 50 for 3360. And the max for the Akana gems... if I lagged out, guys, I'm sorry about that. And the max for the Akana gems that we're gonna get from this event goes all the way to... Okay, this might take a little while. Alright, we got into the hundreds. And 1640. If I remember on my... I didn't finish this one, but on the other one I did at least up to... yeah, I think this one just goes up to 16 for Akana gems. Yes, I'm correct. You got at least... The max you can get from here is at least up to score 16. I can't really do the math right now, and for those who are actually watching right now, my voice is pretty bad, but I'm a little mentally... I'm mentally a bit exhausted, so I'm really a little bit out of it right now. But I'm really pushing the effort just for you guys who are watching right now. I mean, I've wanted to do this for some time. And for the trades, I never really looked into it too much. So I really will have to go for it as well to show you all this, just to keep up. Not only are you getting the Arcana gems from the event, but you're also having the tradables for it. So at best, if you trade up at least a decent amount of the golden ornaments, you get up to at least 300 Arcana gems from the event. And I believe the same could be said for most of them, but I can't say for certain. But let's do an extra check just to be on the safe side. Because with how messy my mind is right now, I can't really remember all of them on top of my head. Usually I do when I'm on my main account. I haven't done the story on my main yet, which is why I was saving as originally was planned for tonight. But I'll have to work on fixing that most likely by this weekend or by at least tomorrow. I'm not too certain. As for this event, well, you'll mostly get the Arcana gems from the fights you'll have to do. Well, actually from the fight. Well, this one I can say the same for here. These are you're just gonna get the 3k for Nighters. And for the proficiency books. But if you're gonna go for the Arcana gems, I believe there's supposed to be something here. I'm not too certain, but I have to make sure and check just to make sure I don't mess this up. You get it at 15k for this one. Does it actually register for all? If it does, oh yeah, I'm actually gonna have to farm this. Yep, it is. Okay, it's a typical each difficulty you get 50 Chrono Gems. So it looks like I'll have a little bit of farming tonight. Well, after I get some sleep, it is. For this one, it's for each difficulty. I don't know if it's for these. I'm not certain, actually, if it's the same thing for this event here. Let me just double check just to make sure of that. I've actually did this one and got the release crystals from here, so I seem to believe that this one is close to doing the same thing. I'm not too certain, but I'll try. I'm not too certain about some things right now with how messed up my head is. While recording, I'm using my phone, as you guys can tell. It's not my laptop. I was planning on recording, as I said prior, but that's gonna be a while. So let's see, how far have I gotten here? I've never really kept tabs. So at 3360 we get up about 50 Chrono Gems. Another 4K. On another 50 at 4720. And I believe this is where we get to the hundreds, I think? No, we have another at 600. And we also get, I forgot about this to include earlier, we also get a little card gift from doing this. I never checked the ability for this. This is let the party begin healing. Reduce battle wound streak, reduces damage from slash, thrust, and blunt element monsters, and status alignment damage by 1.202%. And it also gives a dark buff as well for our dark element damage to enemies. So what does this look like when it's maxed? We get a 3% reduction from all the ailments and blunt. I'm not too certain if I'm messing this up or not, but guys, if I do mess this up, please let me know in the comments. I'm really gonna have to get used to this. And I mean, the 50% dark elemental damage to enemies is kind of good. I'm probably gonna go for using that if I know how to use it on this account. On my main account, that's pretty big. Now back to the Chrono Gem situation. Up from 9,440, we start getting to at least 100 Chrono Gems. So let's see how much we get to from there. 1640, it's the same thing. And I think it goes up to at least 1640 for this event. But let me do a double check here to make sure it's probably the same thing if I'm correct. Yeah, it is. I already got some of them already, at least a little bit. So this covers that part of the event, but here's where is the challenge if you're up for it. If you know you can use Earth and you have one of the chain skills maxed out, well, I think you guys know exactly how this is gonna play out. If you got chain skills plus a Earth skill that you have maxed at level limit for 10, you can actually chain up to a lot of switch damage and even counter. Depending on if the boss can actually counter that. If it's got a counter ability like most bosses have in the game, it's actually able. You guys, sorry if I'm yapping my jaws off here, but I want to cover as much as I can because I'm really planning on heading off a little later tonight. And currently, after the selection step. If you're wondering why it is I already did the event on this account, well, it's kind of because I got some skills that I was trying to get on my main account and I didn't get it. But it's not far off from how strong my main account is. All I need is to get skills back on here, but we'll get to that in another time. For this event, well, I think this one goes up to at least to 19, almost 20k. If I'm correct, I remember maxing this out to the highest I could for the Chrono Gems. Let's make sure I did, and just to confirm, some of these are actually the same for when you have to chain them like your average events. Let's make sure. Also, if anyone thinks I'm just flexing here, I'm not. I'm not that strong to actually be a total flex. There are a lot of people in Kitty Cafe who's at least stronger than me, so I'm not gonna say that. Them and Bunny Bastero, they're super strong. 16k. Let's see, did I make sure? Yeah, this one goes up to at least 19k, so you get at least a 300 extra. And I believe you can trade for the Arcana gems too, if I'm not mistaken. Those gems plus the ones you can get here for the I think that's a spicy curry thing. I do not know what that looks like, but I'll have to tab it and find out. Oh, that's a tank crab paste. My bad. I barely remember anything for right now, but let's deal with that. I think I actually traded it in earlier when I met this with a friend of mine. My friend Elisa, she was the one I mentioned featured in my last video. She's actually the one who was helping me because, well, this is my old account that I wanted to get some help with since I'm planning on making this another main account. Since I got Mother's Rosario's full burst and I have Starburst left. Alright, you get at least 30 for here as well, so you get an extra 300 gems. You got that covered. As for Santa Claus and Blue Deadline, I barely did much of this, so you guys, please bear with me. Let's check the trades first, because I did not trade anything for this event. Let me make sure I got my time correct. On my lower left, it is currently 8:59 p.m. Well, it looks like I'll have to go to bed a little early tonight. I wouldn't be able to run my game late, as much as I would love to. As you guys can see, well, we don't have any gems Arcana gems to get from this one in trades, but we get a lot of extra stuff, so this might be for beginners in a way, but not entirely. You gotta have at least... Most of the events on the basic ones are gonna be thrust, so I'm just gonna put that out there. As for the event itself, yep, as I was saying, they're all thrusts. Except for the highest levels. Some of them will be slash if you have the earth element, or if you just have MR. Okay, if I actually cut out this from everything, that was my fault. I actually not long had something to drink. Well, I do not consume alcohol, as for some people will probably think that's how it would sound. I do not consume alcohol that often, that's very rare. So guys, please bear with me. Hold on, let me make sure. 1680, 280. Let me see, how far does the Arcana gems go? 240, 3400. My bad, I guess, guys. I'm still working on this. Alright, from 7200 we start getting 100 Arcana gems. And how much higher do we have to go? This is gonna probably go up to 16, I'm guessing. That's my guess. I'm not certain, but I'm just gonna do a double check and say it's probably... Nope, it was most likely around... yeah, this is probably where the Arcana gems actually end, from about... hold up, let me go back up, because it goes up to 7,200 score points to actually get that, which I'm pretty close to. I didn't check if it's for every one of these. Yeah, I think it is. Well, that's a shame in a way. Well, for this one, as you can tell, it's actually thrust, fire, and water. So if you know you guys are gonna run this for the Nighters, I would recommend it if you know you got the skills for that. But if you don't, at least make sure you get a party that's decent enough to actually run this. That's only for beginner players. And guys, please bear with on the timer on my top right. I am actually, as I said, I'm using my phone for this, so it's not gonna be as efficient as you would normally see if it was on a computer or something. As for this event, this is the Thoughts on Holy. Okay, I forgot I actually had enough points for this. We actually get some stamps, and we get at least 300 Arcana gems from this, and let me make sure and double check the weakness for you guys to make sure I do not mess this one up. So I know I farmed this earlier this afternoon when it was reset. Okay, this is Thrust and Dark. And for this score, it's all connected, so it's gonna be at least up to 19,000, almost 20,000 to get the max amount of chronogems from this event. So you might want to all keep that in mind. And you can actually use a party for the highest difficulty if you want to go for the Nighters, as I mentioned just now. So keep that in mind. As for... I think I did get them. Holy Thoughts. Lemon Blue. Oh, I did not cover two. I almost forgot these. Glass and Snow Rabbit. I remember actually bringing this up. You can actually get a free skill record for this. And this one you can practically solo if you got Slash and Holy against. I believe it's Nicholas the Renegade. It's one of the classics, if I remember. I do not know for sure, but I remember this actually being the boss. So weakness is Slash Holy. I didn't actually finish this yet, but I am planning on it. For if we get up to 15k 600, you get at least 50 chronogems. So I'm gonna take a good guess and say that's probably because we have to do, yep, every one of these scores reset, so we get some extra chronogems from this. You can do the math on it for every one of them, and for the limited trades, I believe we're supposed to get them. I don't know if they're gonna have the extras, anything extra, but you can, if you have this ability already like I do as well, you can actually limit break it a little bit more for extra frostbite, and you can also get the avatar if you're actually got someone to collect them. I might farm this later, but not tonight. Not tonight. It's a little bit too much for me to farm tonight. Well, you've already covered what this boss is gonna be like. As you can see, already a few people are actually doing it since it's a little bit of a solo event run. But as for the main quest at hand, guys, if I'm lagging a bit, that's because my videos are a little bad. Yeah, I have to bear with the lag a little bit on my phone. I can't record very long on it. As for Nicholas the Renegade, Requiem of the Holy Knight. As you can see, it's thrust, and it has thrust and blunts, basically, with water, fire, and holy. And this one, it's obviously Nighters, so we won't have to worry too much about that. As for this one now, I think it's the same concept. The max chronogems will be at 15,600, and it resets on each one for a different score. As for the trades, I'll just make sure it's the same as the others, because I always make sure to make it a habit to check. I think we did this just now, but I still like to make it a double check habit. But I think that's it for the meantime, because, well, as for all the survivors who are going to be free to play, it's a